Now this is in response to the video that the one guy put out, his infallible theory, bulletproof theory, that we need to take action for global warming. And his argument goes something like this. There is global warming or climate change for those that want to account for any change in weather patterns as being man-made. It either is not happening or it is happening, and then we have action that we can take, and we can do the various things that Gore calls for. We either do those things or we don't. Now the argument goes like this: if we do those things, we spend a ton of money, burden the economy to a ridiculous level, something far from what we've seen over these last couple of years. Right? People are unhappy, no jobs. The Moody's ratings goes from a AAA to a AA to an A. The Chinese call in their loans, and everything's screwed. On the other hand, if we take the action, global warming solved, yay, we spent a ton of money, but everyone is so happy, it's fiesta time. Okay, now the other possibility is we don't take action, there is no global warming, and everyone is really happy. Thank goodness we didn't take the action, spend the money, because now we're doing good. We didn't waste all the money. Or we don't take action, global warming is real, and catastrophe abounds. Death, famine, end of the world as we know it, as he said. One huge argument that he didn't address, this square assumes that the only question is whether global warming is not occurring or is it occurring. He is already making the assumption that the action we're taking will change what's happening with global warming. Now what if he's wrong? What if the action we take doesn't change any global warming, that there's zero effect, even if it's man-made? Which there's a huge question, right? You know, yes. Let's just say that it is man-made. The effects that we can have can be questioned on whether they'll actually turn things around. So it is possible that we can do everything that Gore says and it doesn't actually help. It's also possible that it could help if everyone in the world would do it, but only the Americans and a few Europeans would do it. So there is the very real possibility that many of the people that are arguing against taking action, it's not so much that they're unsure about this, but they also firmly believe that this is not going to help. So if there is global warming, you end up with catastrophe, death, and famine, no matter whether you take action or not. So with this argument, there's clearly one path that you need to take, and that's no action. Because out of all of these areas, there's only one spot that has a smiley face. Okay? Now, if you think, you know what, I'm not so sure that there's really a possibility that this could work. I just want to say, for one example here, let's say, for instance, I said, I have heard and I've read, scientists have reported studies indicating that if everyone in the world wears purple underwear for one day, that will stop global warming in its tracks and, in fact, reverse it. So let's say purple underwear. Okay. Now the thing is, with purple underwear, we know that there's not a whole lot of money involved. But if there's no global warming, you wear purple underwear, maybe you didn't want to, it's a sad face. If there is global warming, you wear purple underwear, it's not going to change global warming. We know that. There's still a little bit of a frowny face there. And actually, there's really a catastrophe, isn't there? Global warming, purple underwear, whether we wear it or whether we don't, there's catastrophe. Same as before. If we didn't buy the purple underwear and there's no global warming, we didn't waste our money and increase the carbon footprint to drive down to the mall. So we're happy. You can say, well, the things being proposed that I said Gore action has a much greater likelihood of helping the environment, helping stop global warming than wearing purple underwear. That's true, but we have to think about probability. And before I get to that, let's just say, instead of purple underwear, purple everything. Just to really put it into context of economics, right? let's say you had to tear down the siding on your house, put up purple siding, throw your car in the lake or river, buy a purple car, burn your entire wardrobe, buy only purple clothes. Then we have, again, huge economic burden, no matter what, whether there's global warming or not, and you've done the economic burden and there's no way it's going to help you. It's a lose-lose. So let's get back to now probability or likelihood. We could have the same scenario for going to the movie theater. Okay? Now, are you going to stay at home? Or are you going to go to the theater when there is definitely a risk of having a theater fire? Right? If you stay at home and there's no fire, you're sad because you missed the opening night of Avatar in 3D. Okay? If you don't stay at home and there's no fire, you're happy because you get to tell your friends what a great movie that was. Now, if there is a fire and you stay at home, again, just like what was proposed when we felt that global warming was going to be taken care of by Gore action, we're happy. We're happy because we're still alive. We'll put a little heart there for life, okay? If we don't stay at home and there's a fire at the theater, death. Death and destruction. So this would say, you know, you really should stay home because there is a possibility for a fire in that theater. Or, for instance, let's say travel. I know a lot of you like to travel. Let's talk about hijacking. Should you travel, go abroad? If you stay at home and there's no hijacking, you missed out. You missed life experience. You missed happiness. If there is a hijacking and you stay home, you get to live. Same scenario. So really, day-to-day life, we base all of our decisions on likelihood, on probability. You travel because you know that the odds of a hijacking are going to be extraordinarily low. The only way to avoid a hijacking is to stay at home. It's the same type of thing here. So we don't know whether Gore action is going to actually avert us from a disaster with global warming, and in fact I believe it's not going to. It doesn't make sense. I don't think that there's man-made global warming. Even if there is, and we take Gore action, I still think in that event there is going to be death and destruction. I think the odds of us changing any patterns, man-made or not, extremely low. So yes, absolutely. If there are 3 frowny faces and 1 smiley face, this board, for those of us that believe that taking Gore action is not going to avert anything, there's only one option. And it's infallible, it's bulletproof, and that is no action that has serious economic fallout. It's a no-brainer.